let's do the New York Times games for Monday, December 8th. We have Cowboy and Spur. Those are both teams in Texas. You have the Dallas Cowboys, the San Antonio Spurs, the Dallas Stars. The Wings, or the Red Wings, are a hockey team in Detroit, though, so that doesn't quite make sense. Is there another team called the Wings in a different sport? Huh. Is there a WNBA team called the Wings? I'm not sure. That could be a category. I mean, there are a lot of things in here that have to do with cowboys. You have, obviously, Cowboy, Rodeo, Spur. Star could be like the Sheriff Star, so these could be like things associated with cowboys. But that seems iffy, I think. Because, especially since cowboy is one of the words. Oh, is this Rodeo? Because we have Sunset and Mulholland. Mulholland Drive, Sunset Boulevard, Rodeo Drive. Is Vine? Is Vine a street or road or something? That sounds right. I'm not 100% sure of that. Is that in LA or Hollywood? I think it is. There's something in the back of my brain that's saying it is. All right, I'm not going to submit it yet, just because I'm not 100% sure about Vine. You push somebody, you urge them, you egg them on, you... something else them? Spur them? You spur them on? Okay, so maybe it's not the sports category. But if it's not the sports category, what would cowboy be going with? I'm not sure. What's row doing in here? The only row I know spelled that way is the court case. I don't know what that would be doing in here, other than maybe being a homophone for row, R-O-W. I mean, it's based off somebody's last name. I mean, the court cases are usually based off people's last names, so it's a last name. I'm sure Mulholland is the last name. Mink, I'm sure, is the last name, probably. It's also an animal, isn't it? Is mink? Like a mink coat? So is there, like, animals are in here or something? Maverick is like, it's related to being a cowboy. Especially since there was that movie called Maverick with, oh man, frickin' Braveheart. Why can't I think of his name? You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I doubt it's the movie, so I don't know why I'm spending time thinking about it. It could also be Tom Cruise's character in Top Gun, Maverick. Alright, this is taking too long. I'm going to try the street one. I'm going to go Rodeo, Sunset, Mulholland, and Vine. Okay, famous streets in Los Angeles. That was only green. Then we still have push, urge, what was it, spur and egg, like you goad on. All right. So that definitely takes out the sports team category, I think. Not really. You have the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars. This was San Antonio, so is the Dallas Wings a thing? Is that the NBA team in Dallas? The WNBA team? Are they the Wings? Member of a Dallas Pro Sports team, okay. I don't know why I left Maverick out of when I first saw that. I just didn't even think of the Mavericks. For whatever reason. Alright. Mink, sofa, row, and pars. I have no idea what purple is doing. Mink, sofa, row, and pars. I don't know. Like, are we replacing letters? This could be sink. But I don't see how we would replace letters on these other things to relate to that. I have no idea. What's purple doing here? Let's find out. European capital cities minus second to last letter? Wow. Minsk, Paris, Rome, and Sofia. That's insane. That's crazy. They're removing letters from the middle of words now. They're getting desperate. All right, that purple one's got to up the difficulty a bit. Let's see what they give it. 2.3, their favorite rating. Okay. I mean, purple was kind of crazy, but the rest weren't. I can see it. I mean, you can get perfect pretty easily just with, even if you don't figure out purple. All right, let's check the bot. Ooh. 4 out of 5. Barely, just barely over half people solving it. By far and away, the biggest category is losing. Of course, I am early, so most of the people who have played are not American, so the Los Angeles street ones might be a little tough. And then the sports category is a very American thing. And then purple being crazy, so I can see it being pretty tough. I'm very curious what this will look like once more people start playing. 1 in 23, not very unique at all. Of course, I got purple last, so perfect game with getting purple last is usually not very unique. All right, so over half the winners getting yellow first. Then a drop down to green, and then a big drop down to purple and blue. Blue coming in last, but again, the fact that most of the people who have played so far are probably not American, this one doesn't surprise me. All right, let's check ever. So yellow, you know, not quite everybody. 20% not even getting yellow. And a big drop down to green, then a little bit of a drop down to the other two. So 18% just getting yellow, 16% getting nothing, and then your typical green-yellow combo down here. We got purple first not showing up in really any of these winning games. All right, let's check the mistakes. Los Angeles street, putting star in instead of vine. I mean, if you're not sure with the fourth one, sure. Star sounds like it could be a street. Why not? Rodeo, cowboy, spur, and maverick. Yeah, there was the cowboy-related one. It didn't seem like a category, though, just because cowboy does a rodeo. It wears a spur. It could be called a maverick as a personality or a name, obviously, like the movie. But it doesn't quite fit. Maverick Drive? Okay. Texas nicknames. Okay, Cowboy, Star, Maverick. Trying to think of the fourth Dallas team or the fourth sports team and not realizing that Wing is the other one. I mean, I didn't really know that one either. Seems like a lot of green and blue and the most common mistakes. Putting Wing in with Goad. Huh. That's a choice. Cowboy, Rodeo, Star, Maverick. Yeah. Texas teams, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, except I didn't think of Maverick when I was thinking Spur. For whatever reason, the Dallas Mavericks just didn't pop into my head for whatever reason. Which is odd, because I do watch a lot of the NBA, so I'm just not... It's very weird that that one didn't hit right away. A lot of guessing between blue and green in here. On to the mini crossword. Okay, Taj Mahal. Everything must go event a sail. Deadly snake with fangs that fold upward. A viper. Netflix crime drama set in the mountains of Missouri. That is, Ozark? W on a map, west. Not quite my best. I think my best time ever is 17 seconds. So pretty close to my best. Man, that felt good. I haven't had a great game like that in so long. So long. I've been struggling so hard on the mini lately. All right, I got just all the acrosses, which is what you have to do if you're going to get a great time like that. All right, so let's take a look at the downs. Spanish small plates, tapas, okay. Ding on a phone, an alert. Meanie face, jerk. That's an interesting clue. Meanie face. I don't think I would have thought of jerk unless I already had the J. But on its own, I wouldn't have thought of jerk from meanie face. Shoebox number, size, and then an oath as a vow. Okay. All right, so starting with the downs probably would have been worse. Because I probably wouldn't have thought of tapas. Or jerk. So yeah, starting with the acrosses definitely was the way to go on this one. All right, on to pips. All right, we need 3 equals. What do we have? We have a bunch of 4s, so this is all going to be 4s. And this is going to be greater than 1. So what are we doing here? This has to be 2, 4. Okay. And then this has to be 4, 4. This is going to be 4, 6, and then this is going to be 3, 1. Oh, nope. That is less than 1, not greater than 1. So I got to flip this around. All right. I lost it out on a cookie there just because I flipped that one around incorrectly. On to the medium. Okay, we have 3 equals in here. We have 3 6s. We have 2 1s, 2 2s, 3 4s. Okay. We also have 3 equals in here. Okay, good to know. We don't have any 5s. So that's very interesting. We have 3 2s, so I'm actually thinking the 6 4 goes here because this has to be a 6. And then maybe 4 2 over like this, possibly. Wait up. We don't have another 0, so that can't be a 4 0. So no, this doesn't work. Unless we go 4 2 down. But what do we have 3 of that could go in here? I don't see it. Oh, maybe this is 6 2 up here at the top. If it will let me grab it, and then we could go 2 4 like this. Okay. And then we could do 4 0 over like this. No, this would have to be a 4 3 to get this to work. Huh. How are we doing this? This has to be greater than 1, greater than 4. So this has to be a 6. This has to be a 6 because we don't have any 5s. 6 with a greater than 1. How many? Am I seeing this incorrectly? All right. We have 3 6s, but the 6s can't go in any of these equal cages because we need 1 here and 1 here. We have 1, 2, 3 4s. We have 1, 2, 3 2s. We only have 2 1s and 1 3. So one of these has to be 4s and the other one has to be 2s. This 3 has to go here, and it has to go down, right? Oh, no, it doesn't. It could go this way. But if it goes this way, we need a double in here. We don't have a double. So I feel like this actually has to go down. Where's the 4 0 going? That makes me think the 4 0 has to go up here. And then this would be the 6 4. Oh, here it is, the 4 2. Okay. And then this would be the 6 1. Oh, the 3 1 could go up. That's how we're doing it. And then the 1 2 like this. And then the 6 2 like this. All right. That took way too long. Way too long. The mediums have been giving me more trouble than the hards lately, at least relatively speaking. All right, on to the hard. All right, this has to be 2 6s. How many 6s do we have? We have 3 6s. All right. We have a bunch of zeros, it looks like. This has to be 3 zeros. And one of them has to be a double. So I'm assuming it probably goes here. And then we have a 0 1, 0 3, 0 6, 0 4 that would go down into this equals here. It can't be 0 6 because we need 2 of the 6s over here. How are we getting to 21 and 4? That would be 3 5s and a 6. We only have 3 5s. So the 6s are all getting taken up by this 12 cage and then this 21 cage. So we have a 6 3, a 6 2, and a 6 0. So this, I think, is probably going to be the 6 3 like this. And then we have the 5 5 and then the 5 2. I think that's the only way that works. Because the 5 2 can't go here. And the 5 5 has to go in here like this. Okay. So that's forced. And then we have a 6 2 and a 6 0. Can we put the 6 2? Do we have another 2? We do have another 2. We have 2 4s, so we could put a 2 4 over here. But if we put a 2 4 over here, what other 4 are we putting up here? We have a 4 1. We can't put a 6 here because this other 6 has to go here. In fact, let's just put that in there right now. Well, this could be a 6 0. In fact, I think it's probably going to be because I don't know how this is going to get to work. We can't put a 4 1 up because we don't have another 6. We can't put a 4 0 up because you don't have a 7, obviously, so this doesn't work. Could we do the 2 2? Wait up. Let's go back. Could we do the 2 2 and then do 2 4? and then 3, 0. I mean, that works over here, but I don't know how that's going to work over here. We don't have 4 of anything left, so I don't think this is going to work. Let's try it with the 6, 0 instead. So if we did 6, 0, we'd need a 0, 3. We only have 1, 3. That's interesting. So if we did, well, all right. Maybe I shouldn't be focusing on this over here. That'll probably work itself out. Those 2 6s have to go here. One's going this way, one's going this way. I don't know which is which. Let's try and get, what do we have 4 of? Let's try and figure that out. We have a bunch of 2s. So let's say this is the 2s. Do we have a 0 with something that also has a 2 on it? We have a 0, 4, so we could go 4, 0 like this, and then 4, 2 down. And then we do 2, 1 up. Okay. So we have a 0, 6 here. We could go 0, 1. Yep, this is how it goes. All right, we're going 0, 1, 1, 4, and then 3, 0 like this. All right. I should have probably focused on this 4 cage a bit more. I was so focused on these 6s over here. So it's a double 0, I think? Or a capital O and a lowercase o. But yeah, I was so focused on the 6s, it made me ignore all this stuff over here. It just seemed like the 6s and the 5s were forced over here, so it seemed like that's the place to focus on, because you could eliminate a lot of dominoes by putting them where they're forced. But once we got down here, it wasn't all that forced. I should have jumped back over here sooner. But it wasn't too bad, at least comparatively to the medium. I mean, this one took me more time, but the medium shouldn't have taken even close to what that was. Alright, if you're enjoying the videos, please hit the like and subscribe and let me know how you did on all the puzzles today.